If you're planning on doing in-depth rust or structural repair to your restoration project at home, you're going to need a frame fixture. And that's what this video is. I'm going to walk you through building a simple but effective frame fixture for your home shop. And to help us build our frame fixture, well, for my DIY guys and gals, I've got some tools that I use at the shop and I want to show you so that you can get professional results at home too, fast and easy. Now, if you haven't seen these, they're called Fireball Squares. This isn't a paid endorsement or anything. Hey, Fireball Squares, if you're listening, anyway, these will really allow you to square up material, clamp it down. Those little tabs there, well, let's show you those. You can rotate those 360 degrees, lock them down into place. And what you use those for, well, if you turn these over, now you can set your material on these and get really nice results. Everything's nice, square, even. Now we're going to be using 4x4 by 11 gauge material to construct our fixture. And we're going to get all of our pieces cut to length and laid out. And I'm working off of a 5x10 table, so that'll give you a visual reference on the size of this thing. And I'm going to use casters because I always need to move things around the shop, but it can also be constructed without casters and just a fixed position. And I'm going to show you a tool that we're going to use that's really going to help with this build. You can see these ends are hanging over. Just keep that in mind. And that tool is Fireball Squares. This isn't any kind of paid endorsement. There's no affiliation with them. These just work really well. And if you're doing a lot of building, they will come in very handy. Check them out. And these little tabs are going to be a huge plus here in just a second. So with the ends hanging over, I can lock this square into place with the C-clamp. Drop in the end piece. Now everything's on the same plane. And we have a perfect 90-degree angle. And we're going to squeeze this thing together a little bit. That much length has a tendency to bow. Get it tacked into place. Double check for squareness. And there it is. Now we're going to set our cross pieces. And if you can make a perfect 90-degree angle on one side of your project, like we're doing here, well, then by default, the other side is going to be perfect. And we don't have to take extra time to measure everything out, make sure everything's square. With both of these squares set into place, you're good to go. Really speeds up the process. And we're just getting everything tacked into place, keeping everything nice and square. And now we can start welding out. And of course, you never want to weld continuously, like say all the way around. You want to stagger your welds. And here's the caster welded into place. And now for the leg stanchions. And instead of having leg stanchions on the very end, I don't like to do that because they can get hung up, and I've just found a better way, and that is we're going to drill pilot hole first. And we're going to use a hole saw. And we're going to go through both sides. And that's going to allow us to use inverted scaffolding jacks to level out and secure each side of our project. Hey, if you like our content, help support the channel, coffee.com/Guzzi Fabrication. Now let's build the body mounts, support, square, and secure the vehicle to the frame fixture. Now we're squaring our body over the frame fixture using blocks to support it, and we're going to get this mounted onto the frame fixture so we can really take off on the rust repair. And mounting the front stanchions. And this is our crossbar, and it's very, very important to center the car for one on the frame fixture, and then we want the car level on the frame fixture. We don't want to start with a twisted body. That'll just go downhill from there. So we've got our measurements, and now we're going to mark that out. And I've already cut off the stanchions to the same height. And we're using the existing body mount on the firewall for the front support. And we also want to make sure that the stanchions are the same distance and it's the same front to back. A good rule of thumb to always follow is you start square, you stay square, end square. Tacking that into place. Final adjustments. Now with the front completed, I haven't welded that yet. They're just tacked into place, and actually the stanchions are just sitting in the correct position. And you'll notice I also have the safety block still in the front. Now we've lifted it up to level, so now I'm going to go ahead and put a few inches of weld. And I'm not going to weld all the way around it. A lot of times people will over weld. That's plenty. One on each side. Now I'm working on the mid brace. Using the fireball squares. They make life really easy. Really easy to square up stock, clamp, and go. And another reason not to over weld, especially on a frame fixture, is we're going to have to disassemble this thing. So if we go in there and really put a lot of weld in there, that's just going to make a lot of work on the back end. Okay, now I've already installed that mid brace, and here I'm working on the back. Now my fixture, I have already pre-drilled holes in the rear, so I can install these screw type jacks, and that makes life a lot easier. And that's a shot of the front completed and set. And you'll notice the bottom of the rocker is parallel with the frame fixture. Top of the door level. And that's the piece I used with the fireball squares. And that's on the frame rail. And then there's our back mount. Hey, we are ready to take off on this thing and really get into the rust repair. Hey, stay tuned to the following videos. And as always, thanks for watching.